Hello. I just want to come back and encourage you and me, us, again in this time of incubation with the Lord. That I really believe He has purposes, definitely He has purposes to upgrade, expand, change. He's doing work in the church, but also in us as individuals in reacquainting us with our real identity in Him, or maybe for the first time acquainting us. And one of the great metaphors for any time that you're shut away with Him, which is this time qualifies for that when we claim it as such, is of course that of the metamorphosis of a moth or a butterfly. We'll go with butterfly because they're so beautiful and there's so many kinds. And the whole life cycle of a butterfly is just incredible. The fact that these creatures begin as a caterpillar and then morph into what they become, these fluttering, beautiful paintings of joy that fly around and kind of just bring lightness to the world. That is a picture of the processes of God inside us. And it's easy for us to get really excited about the end of the process when we manifest in all our beauty and color and vibrancy and the artwork of the Creator. You know, it's amazing because all that genetics to make that colorful butterfly lived in the DNA of the creature, even when it was a caterpillar, unseen. And so that's very much like us. There is the genius of what God's put inside of us as gifting. And I do believe there's a prophetic unction on us right now to be in a time of transformation, a time of metamorphosis into a further manifestation of who we're really called to be in Him with great joy. And I've been saying things about that. This is the 25th little video I've made, and the great preponderance of them probably has been about really daring to become who you are and celebrate who you are. Get with the Father and let Him observe you into being the real you that the world is waiting for, though you might have tried once and found it rejected. Believe that He wants you to manifest Himself just the way He wired you. And so that's very transformational. And believe that you're coming out the other side more like a butterfly, that there's something caterpillar to butterfly going on in you. However, just as I came to make this video, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about it like we're in a chrysalis or cocoon. And I was reminded of a deep dive I had done into the process of what actually happens in that cocoon. We're going to use the word chrysalis and cocoon interchangeably here. Because what actually happens is the caterpillar, once inside, begins to completely digest himself. It's not pretty. He begins to enzymatically eat away until there is no form of his former identity left. His essence has completely changed. What becomes of the caterpillar inside the cocoon is like an enzymatic soup, like a liquid, like he liquefies. One writer said it this way: in order to be able to become a butterfly, the caterpillar has to fall apart completely, decomposed down to its very essence, devoid of any shape or consciousness. There's nothing left but an enzyme soup. And then it says, from this liquid essence, the butterfly starts to put itself back together from scratch. Now, it's not completely from scratch, and we'll say more about that in a minute. God has left a seed in there. But you might think, well, Perian, why are you laughing at that? I guess I'm laughing because I feel like those are the kind of things we live, you know. Sometimes, you know, it's easy for me to get on here and be super excited about the end product of what God's working in us. But let's get real, especially in this time of forced quarantine. There's days that are just hard. There's days that you do feel like you're digesting yourself. There's days you feel like a soup more than a being. And you know, I know all kinds of promises of God apply to those, and I'm the biggest advocate of grabbing onto them. But at the same time, it's okay to just admit you feel that way. And I find great strength in realizing that that too can be a process of metamorphosis, because even in the messiest, most what is going on here, you look like you digested yourself into nothing, even in that, there is a process going on. Because what happens is, right in the middle of that soup, there are these areas of organized cellular content that are called imaginal discs, and they've been in the caterpillar from the beginning. They're the only things that are not digested of the caterpillar's body. The only things that are immune to the enzymatic breakdown, to the decomposition in the cocoon, are these imaginal discs. And each disc is going to be something. The imaginal discs are one's going to be the eyes, one's going to be the legs, one's going to be the wings. These are the seeds of the future butterfly. These are what is left in there, the basis of which new life will grow and manifest. And they were already in there. They just didn't get digested. One of my definitions that I came up with years ago, the call is the desire that survives the fire. And I want to decree to you and to myself that God has put some things within us that will not be digested by any disillusionment, by any discouragement, by any loneliness, by any setback. There are imaginal discs in you, and they're still there. Whether you are in touch with them or not, you may just be feeling like you're floundering in a cosmic soup, an enzymatically digested cosmic soup. You may feel like you are decomposing into nothing. I know I'm being dramatic, but sometimes it feels this dramatic. But I promise you, just like the butterfly, God has left imaginal discs in you that are the seeds of your future. The seeds of your future will not be digested. I'm speaking to somebody right now. The seeds of your future will not be digested. They are there for that mature, beautiful, decreed, planned beforehand, Ephesians 3:20 butterfly to form around. So I just declare that faith rises up, because you may feel, no matter what you feel, you may not feel like you're coming along and developing and growing and getting in touch with yourself and ready for a new season of launching. You may feel like an enzymatic soup of decomposition. That is dramatic. I hear myself saying it and admit it. But again, I promise you, God has left you a seed, and the seed is in your dreams and visions and desires that were put there by Him. And what those imaginal discs will do is gather life around them to propel you into your beautiful future, exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think. Good works He prepared for you beforehand. If we're in a cocoon, if we're metamorphosing into who we really are, let's realize that it's a deeper, bigger process than we ever knew. And let's realize that it's a more real process. It's a more redemptive process. And it is a process that He has prepared beforehand. You're in good hands, because your very spiritual genetics have prepared you for such a time as this, and you will manifest the things God put inside you. Be encouraged.